What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, according to the team of undefeated three-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning undisputed welterweight world champion, who is widely acknowledged and recognized as the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Crawford is 40 wins, no losses, no draw, 31 big wins by way of knockout. He is 35 years of age. He'll be 36 years of age September 28th. He is 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. According to his team, now Terence Crawford, if you don't know, you're not sure, don't remember, I don't know how you could not, but Terence Crawford is coming off the biggest, most lucrative legacy win of his career that took place July 29th, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena. Terence Crawford took on now former unified three-belt WBA, WBC, IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer Earl the Truth Spence Jr., who is now 28 wins, 1 loss, 1 no draws, 22 big wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. With that said, okay, Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, they have a rematch clause, okay, for their highly anticipated last showdown. So to go into that fight, initially, they had to have a rematch clause. And the loser of the fight gets to petition for the rematch within 30 working business days. The winner of the fight gets to choose the weight and gets a higher percentage of the purse going into the rematch, right? It was anticipated and was expected that the rematch is going to take place at junior middleweight, 154. As business has already been settled, or has it, at 147. Terence Crawford has been in 147 5 years and 8 fights. Errol Spence has been at 147 for 10 years. So they both been at 147 for an extensive period of time, and in my opinion, overstayed their welcome now, right? And after the fight, Errol Spence stated he hopes to have the rematch in December at 154. Terence Crawford was asked about that statement, to which he said he was willing to oblige and go to 154, and why not? Let's make it happen. Well, since then, Terence Crawford, according to these reports, has since changed his tune, to which Terence Crawford has stated now that, according to his team and according to these reports, that he wants the rematch with Errol Spence to be at a catchweight of 148, which wasn't true, but he wants it at a catchweight. And then they said with a 10-pound rehydration clause, which I don't think to be true either, because if they wanted a 10-pound rehydration clause and if the weight was at 148, that means Errol Spence can't weigh more than 158, but he didn't have a rehydration clause in the first fight, and Errol Spence came in higher than 148 and 158. So that don't make sense now, does it? No. Okay. Now, his team is saying that they are willing to keep their belts, which means that Terence Crawford will have to face undefeated welterweight superstar title contender, the phenom, as I call him, Jaron Boots Ennis. Jaron Boots Ennis is 31 wins, no losses, no draws, 28 wins by way of knockout, 26 years of age, 5'10" with a 74-inch arm reach. Jaron Boots Ennis has unwillingly and unwantedly adopted a comparison throughout his career to Terence Crawford, which he don't like. Jaron Boots Ennis, if you know Jaron Ennis, he don't like the comparisons to Terence Bud Crawford, but he gets it consistently, constantly. Jaron Boots Ennis is the International Boxing Federation mandatory challenger for Terence Crawford's now IBF belt that Terence Crawford has inherited from beating Errol Spence Jr. The IBF mandatory challenger was initially Errol Spence and Jaron Ennis, but Terence Crawford, who dropped Errol Spence twice in the 7th round, dropped him in the 2nd round, and stopped him in the 9th round, dominated all those rounds in between, but he surrendered the first round and completely outclassing Errol Spence, shockingly, to many people. Well, he inherited Jaron Boots Ennis problems. He inherited those problems. Jaron Boots Ennis is a fighter that switches from southpaw to orthodox. Terence Crawford is known for switching to southpaw to orthodox. You even had guys like Teddy Atlas, Hall of Fame, legendary trainer, and now boxing pundit. Teddy Atlas said Terence Crawford was the best switch fighter, switching from southpaw to orthodox, since he's seen marvelous Marvin Hagler, legendary retired, great, iconic, the late great marvelous Marvin Hagler. That's huge comparisons, right? And now Jaron Boots Ennis has garnered those comparisons. Again, unwanting to and unwillingly. He doesn't like it. And so with that said, nonetheless, Boots, everybody wants to see get his opportunity. He's bigger than Terence Crawford, but he fights similar. He's faster than Terence Crawford, faster feet, but he's big like Errol Spence. So people want to see how it plays out. Now, initially, Terence Crawford stated that he had no real interest in fighting Jaron Boots Ennis because he only wants mega fights from here on out. But his plans was to fight three-time junior middleweight world champion, who was the undisputed junior middleweight world champion, and widely considered by many, as he should be, pound for pound, top 5 best fighters in the world, and Jermell Ironman Charlo, who is 35 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 19 wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, 5'11.5" with a 73.5-inch arm reach. Now, that was Terence Crawford's initial plan, to go up to fight Jermell Charlo, become undisputed in 3 separate weight classes. As Terence Crawford stated, if I can accomplish that, those would be some major shoes to fill, legacy and historically. Now, Terence Crawford has become the first male to become undisputed in 2 separate weight classes. Now, Carissa T-Rex Shields, Olympic gold medalist, 3-division world champion, 2-division undisputed world champion. Carissa Shields is the first one to do it in female boxing. So, with that said, Terence Crawford created history. He became the first male to hold all 4 major sanction belts at junior welterweight, hold all 4 major sanction belts at welterweight, and now he wants to do it at junior middleweight. But Jermell Charlo had other plans, and the universe had other plans. As 4-division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be the face of the sport of boxing, top 10 pound-for-pound best fighters in the world, and the undisputed super middleweight world champion, Saul Canelo Alvarez, who's 59 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach. He came a-knocking, bang, 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 bang. And he gave Jermell Charlo an opportunity to fight him, and Jermell Charlo's going to jump up 2 weight classes. What do you know? And dare to be great. And dared to be great. So he's now going to jump up to 168 to challenge Canelo Alvarez, September 30th, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena. And so with that said, that left Terence Crawford in the conundrum. He don't know where to go. He got a rematch, contractually obligated to fight Errol Spence in a rematch. But now it seems like Terence Crawford is thinking. His brain is churning. Now, he did state, well, I'll go up to 168 and fight the winner, Jermell Charlo and Canelo Alvarez. But when will that take place? Because you see, if Jermell Charlo beats Canelo Alvarez, well, then they are going to rematch in May, Cinco de Mayo weekend, as Canelo Alvarez historically fights on Cinco de Mayo weekend and Mexican Independence Day weekend in September, which is a little funny how they're not going to fight Mexican Independence Day weekend, which is actually this weekend, right now. But they're going to fight in 2 weekends, shockingly. But nonetheless, they're going to fight. And if they do fight again, historically, those are the dates he fights on. So he will be having a rematch with Jermell Charlo, if Jermell Charlo's victorious, in May. And if Terence Crawford is rematching Errol Spence in December, well, that leaves, where does Terence Crawford go from there? Should he beat Errol Spence again, like he already did? Like he demonstrated he was a level above Errol Spence. If he does that again, where does he go? Well, now his team is saying he ain't relinquishing his belts. He's not parting ways. He's keeping those belts. He wants to defend his belt. Whoa, wait a minute. If he wants to defend the belts, that means he's going to have to face, you got it, Jaron Boots Ennis. Because that's his IBF mandatory challenger. He inherited those problems. And it seems like Terence Crawford is now a little bit frustrated with the conversation of Jaron Boots Ennis and him ducking Jaron Boots Ennis and him avoiding Jaron Boots Ennis and Jaron Boots Ennis being the man to actually compete him. Oh, maybe has Terence Crawford decided, let me prove the world wrong once again. We know Terence Crawford is motivated by challenges. Right? So maybe it's Terence Crawford like, I'm going to keep my belts. I'm going to defend them. I'm going to fight Jaron Ennis after I fight Errol Spence and beat Errol Spence again. So what would Terence Crawford have to do? He would have to fight and agree to a catchweight with Errol Spence so that way he can hold on to his titles. And then when he finally fights Jaron Boots Ennis, then he would have his titles to defend against Jaron Boots Ennis, giving Jaron Ennis an opportunity to fight for at undisputed. But if he moves up to 154, you best believe he will be stripped of the IBF title. And Jaron Ennis will either fight for the vacant IBF title or he will be elevated to the champion. Just like they're doing Jermell Charlo with the WBO, as Jermell Charlo had a mandatory in Tim Tszyu, Australian undefeated star boxer, son of a legend Costa Tszyu. Jermell Charlo's daring to be great, moving up, and the WBO said, let me hold that belt. And they're going to give it to Tim Tszyu. They're going to let Jermell Charlo be announced as the undisputed champion September 30th. But after that, he will be stripped and Tim Tszyu will be elevated to the super champion. So you best believe Jaron Boots Ennis, who's been seeking his opportunity, is going to get it one way or another. And so maybe that's where the conversation is coming from, that Terence Crawford is saying he want to fight Errol Spence at a catchweight so that way he can hold on to his belt and defend him against Jaron Boots Ennis. Oh, that's big news. So let's see how this all unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. So all I got for y'all. I'm going. Peace.